What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and this meal right here is a shout out to Mary Avella. She'd asked me to come up with the easy crock pot meal. Mary has a YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to her channel in the iCard above in the description below. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is just some creamy crock pot meatballs. I'm going to be using ground turkey in this. Very simple recipe. It's just something that you can whip up, throw it in a crock pot, and let it go. What I happen to be using is an air fryer crock pot kind of a combo. Should achieve the same thing. Anyway, come in, take a look at what these ingredients are, and we'll get cooking. These ingredients, I just want to talk about this crock pot air roaster that I have. It's kind of a combination thing. I can dial in the temperature anywhere between 150 and 450 degrees. I got this at a garage sale for about $7 about a year and a half ago, so I really like this. Now on to the ingredients. Our ingredients for the meatballs are going to be, we have some ground turkey, we have some breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, Parmesan cheese, and an egg. Now for our liquid and what it's going to be cooking in, we have some mayonnaise. I thought that was a little strange in the recipe that I looked at, but we have some mayonnaise, and we have a combination of chicken and beef broth. So the first thing I'm going to do, since we have the camera in here, is I'm going to go ahead and add our mayonnaise to our broth. And when I'm done mixing this together, half of it we're going to kind of add to our crock pot, and then half we're going to use down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Let's get working on these meatballs. Before we start mixing this stuff together, what I do want to mention is I'm using the 85% lean turkey, so it's not the extremely lean turkey meat. The recipe that I am actually following is a ground beef recipe, so just keep that in mind. We're just going to go ahead and start adding everything. So there's our Parmesan cheese, our salt, pepper, garlic, our Italian seasoning, our breadcrumbs. One thing that I did not mention earlier was I do have some chopped up cilantro in here, and this is kind of my twist on it. I think that the original recipe used flat leaf parsley, and I'm going to reserve some of this for garnish down the road. And our egg. So now that we have all this in, we're just going to go ahead and mix until it is thoroughly combined. This is thoroughly mixed up. Now it's time for us to go ahead and start making our meatballs. Now let's get making these meatballs. Now what I'm going to want to do is have them kind of a little bit on the smaller side, since we are kind of serving this over pasta. So that's going to be about the size that we're going for. We are coming to the end of these meatballs. Just have a couple left to make. Anyway, let's get this in our crock pot. So the first thing I'm going to do is pour a little over half of our liquid into our crock pot, and I'm going to reserve some for later because that's what we're going to thicken it with. I'm done with these gloves. I'm just going to get almost all of them in there. So now I have this. I'm going to go ahead and turn my crock pot on, or plug it in and turn it on. What I'm going to be going at is about 225 degrees, which would be about high in a regular crock pot. We should be good to go in about 3 hours. We're about 3 hours in on this cook. What I'm going to do is remove these meatballs. Alright, now that we have the meatballs removed, what we are going to do is we are going to add our cornstarch to our liquid. So let me move this back, and I'm going to kind of eyeball about a tablespoon of that. We're going to mix it in, maybe a little bit more. I have a little bit more liquid than I thought. So we got that mixed in. Now we are going to go ahead and add this to our liquid here in the crock pot, and that is going to be what thickens up our sauce. So this is cooked for about 5 minutes, and here's kind of what our sauce is looking like. Thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. Let's go ahead and taste that. No adjustments needed. Now we're just going to go ahead and add our meatballs back in. And they're just going to cook for about another 15-20 minutes. Right here is a done deal. I let it go ahead and cook until the sauce became a little thickened. Just going to go ahead and hit it with a little cilantro on top. Boom. That's a done deal. Let's taste this. Done deal. Got it plated up. Time to get down and take a taste. But before I do that, I want to thank Gloria from across the street for hooking me up with, dang, a big old bag, like a big old garbage bag full of collard greens. So looks like I got a collard green video coming up. Anyway, let's see what this tastes like. So I'm going to cut one of these meatballs in about a quarter. Get some of these noodles up in here. That is a good recipe. You know what? I was a little skeptical about that mayonnaise to begin with, but really, I mean, it's creamy. Can't complain. That is a winner. Anyway, Mary, I hope this is a recipe that you can go ahead and knock out for you and your family. Everybody else, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.